Let's stop blaming confidence. You don't have a confidence problem. You have a self-trust issue. Confidence can show up and it can be loud sometimes. Sometimes it's shiny. Sometimes it's just for the gram, right? But self-trust is the real power. That is the root to it all. You see, confidence is the result of doing what you said you would do again and again and again. You don't feel confident because you've trained your nervous system not to believe you. You see, you've made promises to yourself, but then you've broken them quietly. You've set goals, but then you've ghosted them without consequence. And now every time you say to yourself, I'm going to do it this time, really I am, your inner voice is rolling their eyes back in the back of their head and going, yeah, right, sure you are, sure you are. But here's the good news. Self-trust is rebuildable. Self-trust is rebuildable. Okay? You don't need anyone else's permission to get it back. You just need to start showing up for the most important relationship in your life, and that is the relationship with yourself. And today, we're not just talking about confidence, we're going to be rebuilding the foundation underneath it. So, next time you say to yourself, I've got this, you're going to mean it. So for those of you who are new on the call or who haven't been here for a while, I love interaction. I'm going to be calling numbers tonight, and the more you interact with me, the more hyped I get. If you're really lucky, you get to hear my Bajan accent come out. So let me ask you this. Drop a one in the chat. If you are ready to become someone you can finally count on again, drop a one in the chat. And those ones are coming through. Vanessa, David, Andrew, Melanie, James, Lucy, they came through fast. And drop a two in the chat if you are ready to trust yourself so deeply that confidence becomes a natural byproduct. Lisa, Terry, Melanie, James, David, Nana coming through there. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So before I go any further, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Michelle Jamie, and I am here to motivate you this evening. So confidence on, doubt off, let's go. So I am a wife and a mother to two beautiful teenage girls. I'm also an identity mentor and a performance coach for women over 35, a serial entrepreneur, and an award-winning motivational speaker. But it hasn't always been like this. I used to be shy, believe it or not. I used to be timid, meek, low confidence, low self esteem because I didn't trust myself. But through mentorship, through self development, I've been able to build myself back up and remember the person who I've always been. I have rediscovered my purpose and I have built up my passion. I now help others who were just like me, who were just like some of you, discover their true self and shift their mindset, build back up their self esteem and their confidence so that you guys can go on to achieve your goals and build thriving businesses and careers. Now, you can choose to pay attention over the next 30 minutes. That is, of course, your choice. I recommend that you do pay attention and if you can, minimize distractions and listen with an open mind. Now, if you are anything like me, you're going to want to grab a pen and some paper because you are going to want to take some notes this evening. And I've got a little bit of homework for you at the end of the session as well that you're going to want to write down. With that being said, let's kick it off with the first thing. Confidence versus self-trust. Now, you see, this is the real tea because confidence is what the world sees. Self-trust is what you live with when no one is watching. Most people are chasing confidence like it's a personality trait. But confidence isn't a gift. Confidence, ladies and gentlemen, is a consequence. And it shows up after you have consistently kept promises to yourself, after you've done the hard things, after you've shown up scared, shaky, and uncertain, but you still showed up. Now let me break this down. Let me explain this. Confidence is external, while self-trust is internal. Confidence can be temporary, Okay, well, self-trust is the foundation. Confidence is based on past wins, but self-trust is built by consistent effort. You can fake confidence, but you cannot fake self-trust. Confidence can look loud, it can look visible, but self-trust is quiet and unshakable. You see, you can look confident and still not trust yourself. You can speak with power and still feel like a fraud behind closed doors. Because if deep down you do not believe in yourself, if you do not think you are going to follow through, if you have let yourself down too many times, then your confidence will always be conditional and it will always feel borrowed. And the minute life throws some shade at you, the minute you get some pressure put on you, you are going to crumple. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you committed to something and actually followed through just for you? Not for your boss, not for your family, not for the gram to get likes, but just for you. So drop a one in the chat if you're going to commit to one thing just for you and follow through. And Andrew, I see you coming through first. Melanie, Terry, those ones are coming through. James, Lisa, David, I see you guys. Terry, I'm seeing you guys coming through. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The next thing I want to talk about here is why do we stop trusting ourselves? Why do we stop trusting ourselves? You see, you didn't wake up one day and decide to stop trusting yourself. It happened slowly. It was silent. It was one broken promise at a time. Self-trust, it didn't just disappear in one big moment. It leaks out slowly. So every time you say something like, I'll start on Monday, and then you don't, and commit and you say you're going to commit to a morning routine, but then you hit the snooze button when the alarm goes off. You set a goal, but then you let fear, you let doubt, you let distractions win. You are sending a message to your subconscious and you're saying my word doesn't matter. Okay, that's what you're saying to yourself. So let's look at how this actually happens. Maybe you've broken too many promises to yourself. You've become so used to letting yourself down that it feels normal now. But just because it's familiar doesn't mean that it's okay. Okay, you can't keep breaking promises to yourself. You're still carrying past disappointments, maybe old failures are leading to a new fear. If you have done things and failed before, your brain is going to want to protect you from doing it again by convincing you not to trust your own judgment. Okay, maybe you're addicted to perfectionism. If it can't be done perfectly, you don't want to do it at all, which means that you rarely finish anything. And this is causing you to have a backlog of broken commitments to yourself. Maybe you're prioritizing everyone else. You show up for everyone else, but you're not showing up for yourself. Who resonates with that one? You're consistent at work for other people. You're reliable for your friends. You're loyal to your family. But when it comes to you, Vanessa, Julia, Marco, when it comes to you guys, you're not following through. You're lost on your own list. Now, if you do not trust yourself to fight for you, your confidence will not show up. Okay? Maybe you don't feel safe to be seen. And this one hits deep. This one hit me deep. You learn to stay small. You learn to dim your light and avoid stands out because somewhere along the line, being seen didn't feel safe to you. So drop a two in the chat if any one of these resonates with you. Quite a few of these used to resonate with me, and I'm seeing those twos coming through on the chat. And this is why we cannot trust ourselves. But now we know why we're not trusting ourselves. Let's look at some ways that we can learn to rebuild trust in ourselves. So the first thing I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is start tiny and then follow through. So we have some big, scary, hairy, audacious goals. Nothing wrong with that. But let's break them down into micro commitments, things so small that there's no excuse not to win. So, for example, if you want to get fit in the gym, stop thinking about doing them 60 minutes and being able to bench press 100 kilos and squat with 100 kilos. Stop thinking about that because you're not there yet. Go for a 10-minute walk. That's a win. That's breaking down that big, scary, audacious goal into something small. And remember this, small wins stack up. And that is how you start to rebuild trust in yourself. Keep private promises. And I'm not talking about the ones that you share on Instagram. The quiet ones, the ones that only you know. So if you have a promise to yourself, tomorrow I'm going to put me first. You don't have to tell everybody about it, but show yourself that you are going to stand by your word and put yourself first. Maybe you need to stop overcommitting and start being honest. You break trust with yourself when you fail to show up for yourself. So you want to do all the things, okay? But wanting to do all the things is a setup to fail. It's not a strategy. So when somebody brings you something else to put onto your already busy plate, what you need to ask yourself is, can I truly handle this while I am still honoring myself? While I'm still being true to me? Is this aligning with my goals for me today? Okay, I want you to create a weekly self-check-in ritual. Choose a day and check in with yourself. Okay, I want you to celebrate the smallest wins like they're major. Okay, the same way how you celebrate for your friends when they do little things, I want you to celebrate for yourself like that. I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, and I want you to forgive yourself. This is so important. You are not your past. You are not the version of yourself that gave up, that procrastinated or broke down. You're the version who got back up, regardless of what was going on in your life. Self trust cannot grow in an environment of shame, ladies and gentlemen. So say it with your chest. You know, that's my favorite thing to say. Say it with your chest. I forgive myself. I'm showing up differently now. Okay? And change how you speak to you. Stop saying things like, I can't do it. I always give up. I'm bad at technology. Stop forming the negative, ladies and gentlemen. Start saying things like, I'm learning to follow through. I am having a working relationship with technology and getting better. I am becoming someone I can count on. Because, ladies and gentlemen, words are seeds and you speak what you want to grow. So drop a 3 in this chat if you know you need to rebuild some self-trust. You need to forgive yourself. You need to start keeping your private promises to yourself. You need to celebrate yourself like you celebrate your friends. And I am seeing them. Yes, 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 Tracy. I'm seeing those threes coming in. Powerful words indeed, Lisa. Powerful. You see, I'm getting worked up. The accent is coming out now. I'm getting worked up. So this is a quick one. This session tonight has been a quick one, but we have unpacked the why. We've gone through the how, and now it's time to activate the who. Okay, so get your pens and paper out, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you want to become? And what do you want to trust yourself with again? Okay, so grab your pen, open up your notes app, write it on your whatever you have to do, whatever you've got. So we are going to write a personal self-trust contract, okay? This is your self-trust activation contract. It's just for you. Nobody else needs to see it. You don't have to share it unless you want to, okay? So I want you to write this down. I, put your name, I'm done breaking promises to myself. I, Michelle Jenny, am done breaking promises to myself. From today, I commit to showing up for me consistently, gently, and powerfully. I will trust myself to follow through on, and you choose what you're going to trust yourself to follow through on. I trust myself to follow through on. I'm going to put myself as number one. I'm going to deal with my needs first before I deal with others. I'm going to put on my oxygen mask, like they say in the airplanes, before I help other people. Okay. I forgive myself for. What do you need to forgive yourself for? What guilt are you holding on to that is growing in your heart, that is stopping you from moving forward, that is stopping you from trusting yourself again? Put that in that line. And I now choose to believe. I now choose to believe and insert whatever new belief you want. I now choose to believe that I am dependable. I now choose to believe that I am being consistent. I now choose to believe that I am a millionaire. Whatever it is you now choose to believe, you put in that line. And then I need you to sign it, put your signature on it. And this is the version of me who shows up. Okay, sign it as the version of you who shows up. Lisa says, I choose to believe I am unstoppable. Yes, Lisa. Love that. Love it. Listen, if you are ready to take this seriously, everything that I've talked about tonight seriously, I dare you to write down this little paragraph here on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror and read it out daily. Read it out loud to yourself daily. Confidence, ladies and gentlemen, it starts here in the quiet decision to believe in you again, in the quiet decision to trust you again. Okay, and I'm going to drop this into the school group as well. So if you haven't had the opportunity to write it all down, don't worry. I'm going to be dropping it into the school group. So as usual, I'm going to end this session off with a quote. You will never be confident in a version of you that you do not trust. I'm going to read that again for the people in the back that did not hear. You will never be confident in a version of you that you do not trust. Let that statement sink in. You can wear the outfit. You can say the affirmations. You can post all the reels in the world. But if deep down you don't believe your own words, your confidence will always feel like a costume. You see, confidence isn't something you put on. It's something that grows from within you when you trust yourself to follow through. And the good news here is you can rebuild trust starting now. So drop a 4 in the chat for me if you are ready to rebuild trust in yourself. And I'm seeing those 4s: Lautie, Melanie, David, Andrew, Vanessa, James, Terry, Marco, amazing. I am seeing those 4s coming through. Lisa says 4, beauty comes from within. Yes, it does. Tracy, Joanne, those 4s are still flowing, coming through. Absolutely amazing. And just as a reminder, we have the Wealth Pioneers School Group. This is where I have all of my recordings of my past sessions. They are all in there. And I have so much new stuff in there. If you go into the school group, go up to the classroom, okay, and take a look, you will see I've got some new stuff in there, including my brand new identity code workshop, which is a free workshop. So take a watch of that. And please make sure to give me some feedback and let me know what you think of it. Now, if you're not a part of the school group, the link has just been dropped into the chat by the team. Okay, so there's all kinds of things in there, and there's all kinds of new things coming soon as well, including you can book some one-to-ones with me. Now, the weekly affirmation. Now, you know the drill. For those of you who are always on the call, screenshot this. I need you to read this to yourself every single day. I trust myself deeply. I honor my word. I am safe, steady, and powerful in my own hands. I'm going to read that again. I trust myself deeply. I honor my word. I am safe, steady, and powerful in my own hands. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I trust myself. I trust myself. And if you want to have true confidence, you need to trust yourself as well. So this is something that each and every one of you needs to be working on. Okay. So with that being said, I have really enjoyed talking to you guys tonight about trust, about building from trust to confidence. As usual, let me know your biggest takeaways in the school group. Just go into the school group, go under the post, and let me know what your biggest takeaways are. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and of course on the school group as well. And if you are on the recording on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And if you would like to attend this session live, Make sure you look for the school link, which is down below in the description somewhere, and feel free to join us live next Sunday. We are here every week, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Caribbean time, 9 p.m. Qatar time. And you can invite anyone to this call who needs a push to start the week off right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to have had you guys here. You are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for all the messages. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you guys for being on. And with that being said, let me stop the show. Let me see you beautiful guys. Thank you so much. You know,